Where do you keep your smartphone? You may wonder, why am I asking you such a silly question? In this video, you will find an answer to that question. Hey folks, I'm CSK, your personal coach, and welcome to my channel CSK Speaks. Where do we keep our smartphones? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? We carry them as if that's the most precious belonging we have. In fact, I am a victim of that belief. Back then, when this incident happened in my life in 2009, smartphones were a luxury. So I always made it a point to flaunt my phone to people around me. And I was excited to use every single application and feature of my smartphone. So I was always buried in my phone. Although situation has not changed much even to this day, but that incident changed my entire perspective about how we interact with these smartphones. It was a hot summer afternoon in the month of May in 2009, and I was busy setting up a new school in an international school in Hyderabad. And as you can imagine, days can be very hectic when you're setting up a new enterprise. So I was all over the place when it comes to working and connecting with people, interacting and doing my office work and a lot of other things. The interesting part of my day was to spend some time with prospective parents, where they come one by one at the appointed hour and then they interact with me, understand a little more about our philosophy, and then they make the final decision to admit their student or their child into my school. Now, this was a routine, and for me, it was a matter of fact that I have to go through it so that they have that ceremonious meeting the CEO moment, and I get on with my day. That day was different. That day, I got an old man entering my office at that appointed hour. As he came in, I could not help but notice he had a suitcase in his hand and he was dressed in a safari suit. He came in, took his chair, and I greeted him. And then we get on with the conversation, which is about admissions for his grandchildren. He had four grandchildren who wanted to be admitted into my school. And as I was trying to understand the facts of those students or the children's track records, I had my phone buzzing with notifications. And I did not even pay attention that I was always shuttling between my phone and the conversation. Over a period of time, I started to feel a little guilty because every single time I looked at my phone or I answered that call, the old man stopped talking completely and he was having a blank expression on his face. So I was kind of reflecting that maybe I'm annoying him and it is not a good situation where I disrespect an elderly person in my office. So what I did is I turned off the notifications or put my phone in silent mode and also shifted the phone screen downwards, which normally we do, right? So we don't have to get disturbed every time it rings or something comes up there. And then I looked at him with undivided attention and went on conversating. As I was talking to him, I could not help but also discover that that man was not here just to finish the mere formality. He was eager to share everything about his grandchildren. In fact, he wanted to forge a partnership with the school where he knew exactly what the strengths and weaknesses of his grandchildren were, and he wanted to see how school can fill that gap and then make them better citizens as they come out of the school. When I was listening to all this and his influence and his inquisitiveness and his interest in the decision which he was making, I was completely drawn to the entire conversation. At around that point in time, I started hearing a ringtone. And I knew that I had turned off my phone, and it could not be that my phone is ringing now. But I did not know where that sound was coming from. I tried to avoid it at first and then went on with the conversation. But then that ringtone started ringing again and again, and it was kind of a background music to the entire conversation we were having. So I stopped and then I asked the old man, "Sir, excuse me, I think your phone is ringing and you may want to take that call because I hear that somebody is trying to reach out to you profusely." The man was completely disturbed with the flow, but then he did acknowledge the fact that I reminded him about the phone call. He said, "Okay, give me a minute, I'm so sorry." And he started apologizing and he picked up his suitcase. That suitcase which had caught my attention as he entered my room. And he took that suitcase and kept it on my table in front of me. He opened the suitcase and to my surprise, he pulled out his smartphone. He pulled out his smartphone from the suitcase and immediately he switched it off, put it back in the suitcase without even seeing who was calling him, and then shut the suitcase, kept it next to him. I was not in any position to go back to that conversation because what he did just now caught my attention and kind of put a question mark on my face. So I could not help but ask him, "I'm sorry, but did you not want to answer that call? And I'm sorry, but I noticed you have kept your smartphone inside your suitcase." The man went on with it as if it was no big deal. He kept his suitcase next to him, looked me straight in my eyes, and then he said, "It is at my disposal. I am not at its disposal." The "it" here was referring to the smartphone. We went on with the conversation after that, but that was a blow in my face. He got himself admitted in terms of his students joining my school. He got what he wanted and he walked out. But that line which he said stuck to me ever since. It is at my disposal and I am not at its disposal. In fact, if you think of it, it is very true. It is very, very true for us even to this very day. I mean, look at us. We keep looking into the smartphones almost 20, 25, 30 times in a minute, not even an hour or the day I'm talking about. And for what? If somebody is remembering us, somebody is reaching out to us, or somebody is trying to send us something, anticipation. So, in this entire anticipation, we lose focus on the task on our hand, like how I did that day. My task was to engage with him, interact with him, and have a meaningful conversation about his grandchildren's future, my prospective students. But what I did was look at the mobile phone umpteen number of times in the initial part of the conversation. But when he got a call, maybe an urgent call, but he went on and said, "It is at my disposal and I am not at its disposal." So, friends, think about it. So, the next time you carry your smartphone, I know you may not want to carry a suitcase, but make sure your pocket is as strong as a suitcase to keep it safe inside without letting it disturb or distract you. Thank you very much for watching CSK Speaks. Do like, share, and if you like the suitcase, comment suitcase and your opinion about your smartphone in the comment section. Till next time, stay safe.